Get arrested in Manchester this Thursday and you could be the first customer in this shiny new facility. Greater Manchester Police are keen to demonstrate that they've changed after a series of Sky News reports exposed mistreatment of people, especially women, in custody.
Females in custody do get given a female welfare officer, which would be myself or any female that is on
And what are the sort of things they come and ask you? What sort of things do they want?
So, sanitary products, anything like if they may be pregnant.
Previously, we've exposed unlawful arrests, unnecessary strip searches, malpractice towards vulnerable women in custody. It led to a review by Dame Vera Baird, whose report in 2024 was damning and suggested numerous changes. The force says it's implemented all the recommendations and more, including the first ever airport-style scanner.
So this is basically to stop having to do strip searches?
It is,
yes.
Yes.
This is a brilliant facility. Now, insofar as all of the recommendations out of the Baird Review, we have met every single one with interest. Our custody team are now held up by the National Police Chiefs Council as the custody team of the year.
Keep your hands still. Someone just let them know what. That's it.
But we've spoken to several of those whose cases were examined by the Baird Review, including Danica, who the review found was unlawfully arrested and strip searched. Several still have complaints waiting to be resolved years on from their mistreatment.
It doesn't matter how much equipment you put into the police stations. It doesn't matter how many rules and recommendations they changed. You still haven't spoke to us. You still haven't told us why this happened and why you're ignoring us and why police lied and why footage has disappeared.
Do you think that officers involved in dealing with you should have been disciplined?
Absolutely. I think the officers dealing with me and dealing with the reason why I went to the police in the first place should all have been disciplined.
And Danica is not the only one.
Okay, Mark Dove, unlawfully strip searched, unlawfully arrested, left for 21 hours, naked, by the way, 21 hours naked in the cell. He says, has any officer faced disciplinary action for any of the cases highlighted in the Baird Review?
So we were very clear at the time that in certain circumstances there were officers who had absolutely failed in their duties. There were officers who had, frankly, failed to uphold the letter of regulation and what have you. These were not necessarily issues of criminal culpability, and we certainly sought in making sure...
It might be misconduct, not necessarily criminal.
Well, indeed, but in circumstances where misconduct could be proven, then of course we'd seek to take action.
Sophie wanted the same question answered. A domestic violence victim unlawfully arrested at home in the dead of night, then detained for hours without access to sanitary products.
So how long did they leave you in the cell before they interviewed you then?
I think it was 11 hours.
Was anyone disciplined for the mistakes that were made?
No, is the short answer, in the sense
That's not good enough, is it, for these people who were let down?
Well,
it was such a damning review.
There are still elements amongst one or two individuals' complaints that are still being reviewed.
It's not supposed to be hotel pampering, but people should be treated with dignity. The force insists the culture, and not just the equipment, has changed. Jason Farrell, Sky News.